Welcome to WKRP Montrose, a radio station masquerading as a podcast about Montrose, Colorado and the Western Slope, recording live from the Clear Network studio in downtown Montrose, Colorado. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of WKRP Montrose. I don't even know what to say at this point.
You just say something.
Well, because here's the issue. Rob, you can't decide which lane you want to stay in.
I do.
On one day, you want to be like,
Wait,
you want to be like, hey, you're the monkey pushing the buttons. You do the button
that.
pushing.
Yes.
And then on other days like today, you walk in and you're like, hey, you've changed something. I don't like it. Don't change things without telling me.
I don't want to change anything.
Are you an old person?
I'm in charge of everything is the way I look at it.
You're like an old retired person. I feel like the room becomes unstable to you if you walk in and I've changed something.
I don't like that you take
Like
that initiative to try and change stuff without my permission.
Like
That's all that is.
Like the room is like a fun house or something like that, and you can't deal with it.
You turned an extra light on today, and that was not authorized.
Who says you get to authorize it?
The woman who approached me in City Market yesterday to tell me about how much she loves me on the podcast.
Oh, God.
That woman. Or the other person who came up to me and said, I recognize your voice.
You know, you heard a little giggling in the background there.
Those
and
people.
there's a reason. This is going to be so good today. It's almost, Rob, going to be therapeutic, is what I can tell you. And I'll tell you why.
This is my therapy to deal with you.
No. So listen, for those of you that are out there, this is going to be a good episode today. We'll do the little PSA afterward. Are you trying to do the ASMR?
Yeah.
Okay. But first, before we do any of that, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Clear Networks.
Yep. Honestly, it's...
Clearly, they've made a bad decision in sponsoring the show.
Oh, hey, hang on a minute. We don't want to give them some out.
No. Listen, they're not the kind of people that want an out.
No, because if they wanted an out from this kind of catastrophe, they wouldn't have got involved in the first place.
If you don't have Clear Networks, I apologize if this show...
Good job.
You know, sounds choppy to you.
Hang on.
Oh, here we go. Oh, very nice. Very refreshing.
Yes. Thank you, Pomona, who are our beverage sponsor. This is...
and who are obviously on our sound engineer sponsors as Rob clangs things around on his desk.
People don't expect professionalism.
Okay. I wasn't finished, by the way, saying thank you to these fine people at Clear Networks.
No, truly. It's very important that this wouldn't exist in the format it does.
Without them.
Without them.
And you wouldn't be able to download it with such ease without Clear Networks.
And I'm not talking about it wouldn't exist without their internet capabilities. Yeah. That's true. I'm talking about the green.
So if you've got some poor spectrum of service...
Yeah.
you might want to consider changing over to the clearly better choice at Clear Networks.
You are not good at that.
I think I just nailed it.
No.
Listen.
Anyway, cream ale. The cobblestone road from Pomona is delicious too. Thank you.
Cobblestone.
Yeah, the cream ale.
Cream ale.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be the judge of that one, Kevin. I'm not much of a cream ale. All right. So we're gonna get to our guest because we have an amazing guest on the couch. I can't wait to have her sit in on this conversation and join in with us.
I'm annoyed she's got a normal name that you can't mess up.
Yeah, I shouldn't be able to mess it up.
It's possible.
But welcome to the really nice couch, Emily Bowman. Thank you for joining us.
And the really big nice couch.
Yeah.
You may not be able to see at home, but she's far from reaching the ground.
Yeah, I did you a favor. It's, from here up type of thing. You're good.
But only like half of the people we have reach the floor, I think.
You chose well with your outfit too. You're wearing the black. You look good into the mix
camo.
Over there.
You blend into the so yeah, welcome, Emily.
So
thank you,
Emily, renowned author, poet, comedian, therapist. Did I get it all right?
Sure.
Pickleball.
Is there
player?
anything I missed? Ooh,
Benny ball player.
Oh, we'll get to that then.
Yeah, we'll get to
Benny ball versus pickleball.
I was playing pickleball once and I noticed she was playing. That's it. I don't know if that was the first and last time she ever played, but I thought I'd throw it in there.
Have you ever played paddle?
It's the European version of pickleball. Isn't
Yeah, but it's a little bit more intense.
it? Yeah.
Interesting.
I feel like we need a paddle court in
A little
Montrose.
more aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to get you on a paddle court. That would be and just being. Sorry. Anyways,
Wow.
Do you do couples therapy by chance?
I'm kind of wondering if that's why I was invited.
I mean, it feels a little bit like it.
It does feel a bit like that.
Does it feel aggressive? Is there like toxic?
There are aggressive undertones, I would say, but I think you guys really do care about each other.
Well, I'm also quite content with the relationship. Is that a red flag when there's arguments and one person is like, "This is how I want it"?
Well, it's your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just too sensitive. That's what that is.
Oh wow. now we're judging and labeling. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't make me put that hat on.
No.
Don't judge and label me, Rob.
It's Friday afternoon. You don't want to put that.
You can do whatever you want to do. Emma, go ahead.
I was going to say, where do you want to start? How do you define yourself?
Oh, geez, I'm a human.
Why would you do that to somebody?
I don't like to define myself.
You're multifaceted, multi-talented.
As are we all. Can we say that? Most people are?
Most of us.
Yeah.
This guy.
Let's start where I think my favorite out of the things that we've discussed is the comedy.
Sure.
So I've seen you. You performed at Silver Basin when we had guests on who came down from Steamboat Springs.
Right.
And they put on the little showcase.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And you performed that night.
Yes.
You were very, very good.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying this, I thought you were the kind of hit of the night.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, really, really funny.
Not your first rodeo, though. You've performed in other locations.
I have.
So much. Grand Junction.
Yeah. There's
Snowmass.
Not Snowmass. No,
Oh.
I've done different spots in Colorado, mostly Western Colorado, but also some down in New Mexico a little bit.
Really?
And just kind of all over, wherever. I'm not doing a whole lot of comedy right now.
Yeah.
It's just a different season and there are different things going on in my life, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
Is it something you'll always do, though, you think? Come back to?
I think so. I think it'll always be there.
Yeah.
You know, I think it just, as I think with any art form, kind of ebbs and flows. And, you know, I'm definitely not trying to become famous or get a Netflix special or anything like that. It's just, it's a really fun art form. It really like stimulates me all over just on a lot of different levels. Like the art of writing a joke is really fun. And
well, it's also, always impressed by people who can stand up in front of a crowd.
Sure.
I can't do it. I get terrible like stage fright. I used to. I haven't put myself in that position for a while. I tend to I don't look at the camera, but I don't think about the fact that there may be half a dozen people watching this at any given time. But how
dare you?
For me, I'm always impressed by people who have that confidence to go up in front of a crowd. Silver Basin that night wasn't jammed to the rafters, but there were a good number of people there. But I guess with smaller venues too, that brings its own thing, right? You can see everyone. Yeah. You can hear every comment.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
What's the largest crowd you've maybe played to?
I think probably the largest is around 100-ish, probably 80 to 100. But again, that's still pretty small in the grand scheme of things. And I don't know that I'd ever want to do like a big, because the intimacy, like that Silver Basin room that night, you know, it's just the low ceilings, everybody's packed in. You can really hear the laughs and you can really like make contact with everybody in the room. There's something really, really special and like magic about that.
Is it thrilling too as well? Do you get like an adrenaline rush?
Yeah.
Because it's terrifying to me.
It's terrifying to me too, Rob.
Okay.
To be completely honest. I do it anyway, and I think it's an edge, you know, and I think you get to a certain point in your life and it's you seek out some of those edges, and that's definitely an edge. It came at a time in my life where I really just kind of needed to find a voice and find my power, and I'm telling you, there's really not a whole lot else that just feels more powerful than standing on a stage and making people laugh. Right. I mean, it's almost manipulative in a way.
Yeah, right.
But
by intent, right?
Like
you're trying to manipulate
there's
a reaction.
Science to it, absolutely. And you know, the kind of adrenaline, you know, we call it joke coke. I mean, you get off the stage and you are just like dopamined out and
flying high.
Flying high, yeah.
You said you're terrified, but there's got to be a moment where that switches into like a rhythm on stage and you're starting to feel it. Do you have like when you're developing your stand-up, as you do that, do you like go to the comfort jokes first to kind of like, I've done this one a couple times, I know it's going to land, or do you like get the stuff that you're trying out of the way first when you're doing it?
Yeah, usually the stuff that I know is going to hit, and there's kind of a rule in comedy. You want to, start with, I think the rule is like start with your second best, and then you want to end with your best. Okay. And so you start out with stuff that is really tried and true. And then, if it's a paid show that people are paid to be at, I don't usually do a whole lot of like brand new stuff. Save that for more like an open mic type thing. Yeah. But if there are newer things or stuff that I'm like, it's hit here, but not really hit here, I'll put that kind of in the middle so that I can pad it with stuff that, is kind of the tried and true.
So you're a poet as well.
I am.
And I have a poem that I want to read at some point that's from one of your books.
Okay.
But my question is, do you ever try to have you ever considered mixing your poetry into your comedy? And have you done that already?
I have not, specifically mixed poetry into it, but I will say that there are certain jokes of mine where I have this sort of rhythm, or I'll just kind of like ring something out. Like I have this joke, I haven't done it forever, but it's about kind of high school names, and it's this whole like thing where you just like list, kind of just, it's sort of like George Carlin-esque, where he, he's a real like just rang stuff out. And so there's almost
the curse words you can't say on television.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I won't say those here. Or But no, I mean, I think that aspect of it, kind of the rhythmic, is fun, but I've never tried to just do like a silly, funny poem. A couple of my comedy buddies have done some fun like little comedy haikus, and they're great. They're funny. I think anytime anybody gets out of that box, it's really fun.
I was reading your poetry, and here I'm going to bring it up because Rob is just waiting. He started when you walked in and you handed books. He was like, "Hey, let me hold those. Dennis can't handle the level of intelligence."
No, I said Dennis can't read. That's not.
Okay.
So Dennis is going to read a poem from, I think, page 44 or 45.
No. First of all,
is that Dennis?
First of all, do I have your permission to read your poem?
You do. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Thank you. So this one's called Permission Granted. And it really touched me. So I'm going to read it real quick. You don't have to be typical. There's so much beauty in the parts of you that don't blend in, that don't conform, that don't comply with someone else's rigid rules. Love those parts with pride, with peace, and never be afraid to let your weird, your misfit, your little bit different step into the light and shine all over the damn place. Love it. I love it. That really, touched me in the sense that, Rob likes to say, hey, we do this for us, right? So I feel like we're letting our little bit of weird go all over the damn place with the podcast. So it was beautiful. Thank you for letting me share that.
Yeah. Well,
Rob, what do you have to say about that?
Hey, shut up. I just came across one that kind of, I don't know, I feel like fits as well.
Okay.
Especially with talking about if you want to be a comedian, if you want to start a podcast. I mean, I'm not going to read the poem, but it's called Because Too Late Will Arrive Too Soon. That resonates too, and I have put things off, we all do in our lives, until sometimes it is too late to do things, to say things to people. So go and do the things.
Have you put anything off? Since you wrote that, have you put anything off that you felt now it's too late?
Good question. No, really, no.
Are there still things out there that you're putting off? Probably.
Are you the therapist now or something?
No, I'm just asking.
Therapizing the guests?
I'm pretty good about...
Hey, we're connecting over here.
We're bonding. We're having a moment.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty good about if I want to do something, I'll do it. I might think about it for a little while, or I might, kind of take the steps, or, maybe take a step back to really think about if I want to do it. But I'm pretty good about just going and doing it. But that's a good question. I think I'm going to have to table that.
Well, there's a specific reason why I asked, and I'll look into the camera. Nicole, I know sometimes you don't think I'm paying attention or listening, but today we talked about the idea of, you were telling, and I'm going to get this wrong already, the time of year or the part of the calendar it is that today was one of those days where you're supposed to put out there what you want to see happen or change. And I shared with you, Nicole, that I wanted to start getting into meditating. I wanted to be more at peace with everything that's around me, be a little bit more calm about things, and be a little bit more appreciative of where I'm at. He's laughing, but this is meant to be a moment with Nicole. And look, here we've got Emily as a guest on the couch, and we'll talk about your therapy side of things and your website as well. But hey, that moment just happened, and there's a scenario where Rob reads something like, "Don't let something go till tomorrow that you can do today, because it might get too late." So here you go.
All right, Mr. Heavy.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm just thinking about
every episode doesn't have to be a total.
I'm just thinking about you like as the Buddha. That's
right, trying to meditate. I look like Buddha.
You can't cross. Can you cross your legs?
I'm pretty sure I can. There's probably like a belly interference in there somewhere, but yeah. What do you try? My daughter calls me Buddha.
Well, yeah.
She likes to she comes up to me, and her favorite thing to do is to come up and rub the Buddha belly.
For good luck.
Yeah. She does it almost every time we meet.
So, well, I just want to show the book and the other one, Reflect and Expand. Where can people get these if they want to?
These are down at, they're both down at Curiouser Books here in Montrose. In Grand Junction, they're at The Hive, which is over in the Cottonwood Mall in Grand Junction. And then I also have a website. I think it's just www.sweetmoonpress.com, where you can order both the books up there too. Yeah.
Well, let's just take that opportunity to talk about the second one, which is the newer one.
Yes.
Right? Your own front door lists for reconnecting with yourself. So talk us through this a second.
Sure. So the first one is, just for anybody who doesn't know, I mean, if you didn't gather already, it's some poems. It's 12 poems, 12 pictures, and some prompts to go with each poem to really take a step back and reflect on them. You can do that through journaling, through meditation, Dennis, or, through even just dialoguing with a friend, if you choose to. And then the second one is it could be like a list journal style book, but a lot of people really aren't into journaling or writing. And so it could just be topics to really just sort of like, just think about and reflect on in your mind, or have conversations with friends. I put that book out into the world. I had a lot of clients, a lot of friends, a lot of just people in my life in general who were going through big changes, whether that was like the ending of a relationship, changing jobs, having the kids move out. And I just hear people over and over again just say, I don't know who I am, and I don't really even know where to start to find that. And so I wanted to have a resource to be able to give clients or give friends. And so I kind of put together this, it's sort of workbooky, but it's also very open and permissive, do it kind of in your own way, however you want to do it. And gotten a lot of really good feedback, given it to a lot of people going through big changes like that who found it really helpful. And I've been really actually surprised. A lot of people are doing it, like using it in groups that they're in, or with friends or with partners or whatever, because I think it can be a little less threatening to do it with someone else than to sit down and just be like, oh wow, I'm just really going to think about myself. Like, you would think that would be a pretty easy thing to do, but it's actually quite terrifying to really just have that experience of like, I'm just going to sit and kind of think about me, because we don't do that, and I think that's why I wanted to put some reflective books into the world. I think like we are just so bombarded with bite-sized, just quick, fast-paced information, which is great. We are definitely more informed than we ever have been, but I don't think we have a lot of opportunities to really absorb any of that. And so, I think that's just important, and I think being able to connect with yourself and on a deeper level, I feel like I don't want it to become like this self-absorbed type thing, because I think that sometimes that can be taken too far, and even therapy can take that a little too far sometimes. But I really think the more connected, the more well that you know yourself, the more fulfilling of a life you can live, and then the more you can kind of turn around and contribute to the world.
Like Rob likes to say most of the time, you got to put your mask on first before you can help other people.
The airline analogy, I like it. Yeah. But I like this page actually, and I obviously I'll try to make a joke out of this, but it's really quite good. It's there's lots of empty space, which Dennis likes, for you to write, to answer the questions, right, and do that self-reflection. But things I don't so much like about myself.
I got a list.
Well, that's literally what this is for, right? And I can imagine that going back to this the next day or a week or a month later and reading, I can see a big benefit in going back to those kinds of lists and almost reading it as if it's perhaps even made by somebody else.
Ooh, yeah.
This idea that, did I write that? Do I really think that? This is really, I really like this idea.
Or coming back a couple of years later and saying, do I still feel that way?
Exactly. Or have I been able to change that thing that I didn't so much like?
Did I spend any time on it? Or did I just... For me, sometimes well, I want to, before we keep going down into this, because I'm going to pull a Rob and pull us back a little bit.
Sure.
You're not from Montrose.
I am not.
Laramie, Wyoming?
Laramie, Wyoming.
Is that home?
You did your homework.
Yeah.
Good job. That is home, mostly home. I was actually born in Fort Collins. My dad was getting one of his degrees there. And then we moved to Missouri for a few years for him to finish up his education.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. Fortunately, I was young enough I didn't really get to.
All you Missourians, make sure you leave comments
right.
in the
Please do. No, but then I think I moved to Laramie. I think I was 5 or 6 and was there all through school, went to college there, and Laramie's, I don't know if either of you have ever been to Laramie.
Laramie's a cool town.
Yeah.
I like it. It's college town.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
There's some trouble to get into in Laramie, I think.
All kinds.
I feel like if you try.
Yeah.
So
Is Laramie the one that there's a particular dinosaur skeleton? Is that Laramie?
There is a dinosaur museum.
So my sister, when her kids were really young, the kids were obsessed with dinosaurs. They went to Wyoming to see one particular dinosaur.
Really?
The BBC made a documentary series trying to detail how this dinosaur probably died. Really great show. And my sister took her kids all the way to Wyoming to see the skeleton.
Wow. I don't think that's in Laramie. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but
please let it not be in Laramie. Please let him be wrong about one of the things that he decided to bring up. You mentioned that the books are in. Well, first of all, let me go back. So Laramie,
yes.
University of Wyoming,
yes.
How did you end up here in Colorado, or how did you end up in somewhere else in Colorado and then made it to Montrose?
Yes, so I went from Laramie. I went to North Carolina and went to grad school there, and then. The guy I was dating at the time, he was still in Wyoming. We were still together, and he said, I won't live anywhere east of Colorado, because he'd come visit me, and he's like, I can't see anything. There are trees. I can't get my bearings. And so I came back, and we ended up moving to Grand Junction. I think we were there for about 3 years, and then, every time I'd drive through Montrose, I was just like, oh, these mountains, like, I have to be closer to the mountains. And so came to Montrose in 2007, so...
Yeah?
Almost 20 years.
And now you're stuck.
I'm stuck.
You like it.
Happily stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about looking out in the mountains is they're never the same.
Right.
Have you ever noticed that? Like sometimes they look way further away. Sometimes they feel like they're like right up, that Townsend's going to run right into them type of thing.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things about being able to look at them from here.
Yeah. And then like all the different season, the snow, the bear, it's just
love it.
We're really lucky.
We are super lucky. Oh, okay. We should get back to Rob. Sorry.
The skeleton of Big Al the Allosaurus is on display at the University of Wyoming Geological Museum in Laramie.
Okay.
So
I learned something new about Laramie. Wow.
Well, my sister took her kids there because of Big Al. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, you can sit back. You'll be done for the rest of the.
Sit back smugly.
So, you said your books are at Curiouser Books. Am I thinking of the right one? Is that the bookstore that takes some of the sales, allows people that donate books to it, to allow some of the sales of that book to go to a nonprofit or an organization?
Yes.
Okay, so I have that correct.
Yes.
The reason why I ask is because you're pretty charitable yourself. You not super recent, but you made a donation so that students could go to LFMG. I want Edgar. I'm sorry if I stumbled on that, but so he's got a great program for people that are interested in audio and music and DJing and everything else. And you sponsored some students to be able to go to that.
I don't know how you knew that. You have some pretty good stockings skills,
I mean,
Dennis. I'm impressed.
I'm okay. Yeah, I do my
what
homework.
Else do you know about me?
Yeah.
Should I be a little anxious?
Yeah. How do you rationalize that as a therapist, that this strange man you've just met suddenly knows far too much about you?
Well, listen. Things get put out on the internet, right?
Do.
So
and they stay.
It's 2025.
Yeah.
Nothing we do is private anymore.
Well, I mean, that's your choice, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to share something like that that you've done that is really amazing?
Sure. No, it's a wonderful program, and I'm glad you're talking about them, because I think more people need to know about what they're doing over there. And I mean, I don't know if any of you been to the space over there. It's just a really great program, helping a lot of kids, getting a lot of kids just really passionate about music and making beats, rapping, doing they've done slam poetry over there. They've done all kinds of stuff, so it's really cool.
Talk about doing things that are therapeutic for a lot of people.
Yes.
Like once you learn that you have a passion for it, even if it is just something that you want to do as a hobby, what a great hobby to be able to have,
and an outlet. Yeah, exactly.
So, Edgar, I'm tired of trying to give you a hard time. I realized the reason why you don't show up to come do the show is because you don't have any time. You've been working your butt off. So, but I'll do my best to make sure as many people know about you as possible because I'm really a big fan of what they're doing over there. So, are you really just going to sit over there and pout the rest of the episode and not saying anything?
I'm basking.
Oh, you're basking in your own...
Basking in glory. No, I was just reading. I would obviously at some point we're going to talk about your career. Is it fair to say therapy is... Yeah. I mean, writer, poet.
Sure. But it's
comedian, but it's something you've done the longest, perhaps.
Yeah.
So 20 years.
20 years.
Over when 20 this was published, point, over 20 years. I guess. Well, what kind of therapist are you?
So I do a little bit of everything. I do some substance abuse work. I did like way back when I did a lot of like special certification to do some substance abuse work. I do just regular mental health, trauma, anxiety, grief, life transitions. I mean, at this point in the game, I've pretty much done a little bit of everything. I don't necessarily specialize in anything in particular. I see kids, I see adolescents, I see adults. I love the kids, I love the adolescents, but I also love the adults. Like, I don't think I could ever be a therapist who is just like, I'm the kid therapist or I'm the substance abuse therapist. I would just get too bored, I think. You know, and it just really keeps it fresh and dynamic. And you learn so much from each population that you can use with other populations. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, people are just, we're the same. We're just people. You know, we have this set of issues. We have these different bodies that we're in, but you know, we're all just trying to make it and connect. And
we're not as far apart as we think we are sometimes.
Really not.
I imagine it's quite rewarding, but do you feel after 20 plus years that you still feel, well, I don't want to say the same, but do you still take great pleasure in helping people in that respect?
I think more actually than I did when I started even. You know, I think there's just something really, I was reflecting on this the other day, you know, just being at this stage, having been in it for so many years, being able to look back and just see, you know, how much I've learned and been humbled and grown by the experience. And just to be able to have, you know, you kind of have a set of just skills and I don't want to say expertise because I don't think I'll ever be an expert, but you know, you just know stuff at this point in the game. And it's also still just always fresh. And I think what I love most about it is people are just always surprising me. You know, I mean, it's just, I'm always surprised. You know, it's you would think after this many years in the game, you know, you'd be like, okay, this is how this story ends. Yeah, you know, like I know what's going to happen here, but people are just amazing, and I love. It's just such an honor to just be part of somebody's path in that way, and you know, I think I'm so passionate about it, and just get more passionate about it every day. I think
it's an amazing feeling when you watch somebody progress to something.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to be a part of it, just to witness it. To witness somebody being able to move to a different part in their life and feeling successful and getting to that. I coached for a long time in basketball. I did some mentoring and things like that. That was probably my absolute favorite. It's like a life-changing thing to be able to just observe somebody be able to get to their next step. It's motivating as well. But so you've got your website. You're not taking clients anymore right now. You've got a full book, basically.
Full,
So, but your website, can you remind me the URL? I didn't write it down.
Oh, it's findyourfree.net. I think
Findyourfree.net. Yeah. YOUR.
Yes.
Yeah. Findyourfree.net. The reason why I wanted you guys to know that, we'll put the link in the description, is you've actually got a section with practices or tools and things like that. And my wife always reminds me about grounding, and you've got a section and a voice, like some audio tools on there about grounding and things like that. I was listening to him before you came in.
Good. And are you feeling more grounded?
I was feeling really relaxed until Rob walked into the studio, and so I was,
yin and yang. It's all about balance.
All about.
I can't have you too grounded. I mean, I was on edge to do these episodes.
I don't think I want to be on edge.
I didn't say you want to. I need you.
Oh, you're going to push me to the edge.
I think this is the dynamic we have. It might not be the healthiest one.
I feel like
you can get grounded again after we finish.
I feel like if we were ever out like traveling and we were like looking at something and it had an edge, you would feel the need to like shove me.
Well, I would say let's go closer to the edge. I would. Yeah. I'm not a moron.
What should I feel about that? Emily? Like, should I be concerned?
What do you feel about that?
Exactly. The book is closed. She's not therapizing you here live on the podcast.
I do. I for whatever reason, I seek those opportunities for people to push me.
Okay.
It maybe pushed me a little too far.
Maybe work with that a little bit.
Yeah, I should step back from that a little bit.
Meditate on that when you're when you're meditating.
Do you think that part of the reason why we don't have some of that, like, how much would you contribute our phones to losing some of our patience and being, and I'm going to lead into something else that I found out about you. It doesn't seem like we slow down to take enough time. And how much of that do you contribute to your phones? Because that's something I'm trying to work on with myself.
Good for you. You know, as we all should and say we are going to and never do. But you know, that's I do attribute a lot of that to our phones. I mean, I don't want to be like an anti-technology rant up here, although I do feel that way from time to time. But you know, they are a necessary evil, and they are just shattering our attention spans. They're shattering our abilities to really connect with other people. They're shattering our, you know, just our ability to just be present in general. I mean, just, yeah.
My new favorite thing that I've heard or seen people do, and actually there was a Simon Sinek. Have you ever heard of Simon Sinek? So he's got a lot of motivational stuff and things out there. But he was saying even just the fact that we put our phones down on the table, whether it's face up, face down, whatever, is almost an indicator that this is more important than you.
Right.
Because I'm putting it in between us to where I can see it. Yeah. And he was like, do me a favor. Don't just, you know, put your phone on vibrate or whatever, or put your phone down. Put your phone away. Yeah. Like put it away when you're spending time with someone. It's in my hand now. I'm trying to put it away.
In your hand.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to.
By your own admission, that's so rude.
I was trying to make a point. So the other thing that he said that I thought was, I've heard this a lot. I've seen people. It's like, okay, if everybody ends up with their phones out on the table, just the first person to look or to touch their phone. So flip it over, and the first person to look or touch their phone takes the check.
Oh, I like it.
Like I thought that was good. Rob will never do that. No. By the way, we have here's another thing. I'll share this with you. See this? You guys see this jar? There's dollars in it.
There's not many.
Yeah.
It should be full.
Hey, okay. He came up with the idea. I often say things and trail off in thought because I start to speak before I fully form the thought that I want. And he was like, you got to stop doing that. You had to put a dollar in the jar every time you do it.
Then he forgot to put dollars in the jar. There's like $4 in there. This should be about 1,000.
Is there a term for somebody that comes up with a rule for somebody else, but it doesn't apply to them? Because Rob has recently started doing
Hypocrite? Yeah, right.
But yet he won't contribute any dollars. And his excuse is, you haven't put enough dollars in there to warrant me putting dollars in it when I do it.
Here's the other thing about
deflecting.
I suppose. About your little bar restaurant thing. Yeah. Here's the beauty.
Yeah.
I'm as bad as anybody with my phone.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying for people's dinner. I'll put that in the car before I before I enter a contest to pay for everyone's check.
Right. You're the guy that's
I'll win.
Would you get up from the table and walk away if that came up as
I would pick my phone up and I would take it to the car, lock it in the car. I'm not losing that. I'm not paying for everyone's dinner.
Right. You would, if we sat down at a dinner table and we said, we're going to do this thing, you would get up and take your phone to the car.
Yep.
So you would just basically be like, I don't trust myself enough to not do this, and I'm not paying for your dinner.
But also, because the best part then is I know I'm guaranteed a free dinner.
I'm a royal cheap ass.
Somebody else is gonna touch their phone. So I'm ordering them.
You're as cheap as they come, Rob. I'll just put it that way. So one of the other things that I saw, speaking of like attention spans, you're listed. You're on Goodreads.
Yes.
And you've posted that you've read 92 books on Goodreads.
I actually recently switched over from Goodreads to a different platform, which I can't remember.
So you're saying you've read more than 92 books?
Yes.
This year, obviously, right?
I don't know if I've read. I don't think I've read 92 this year.
Okay.
Oh. But maybe just there were 92 listed on there.
Okay. I don't know you well enough to be like, I don't believe you've read 92 books. But I had to go through the list because I wanted to see.
Do you need to know someone to call them a liar?
I mean, I'm not calling anybody a liar. People, do things by accident all the time and click on like I've read. So I went through the list and I was like, that book, that sounds interesting. I started reading it. I was like, no, that's too complicated for me. This one's too complicated for me. I don't get everything in this book. I finally got to one that I understood. You want to know do you want to know which one it was?
One
that I've read. No, it's one of my favorite books of all time. The Giving Tree.
Oh.
And so it took me that long to get to to a book that I was like, either I've read or I recognized and thought that I could read. And then it reminded me, I need to go read The Giving Tree again. I love that book. Yeah.
Never read it.
You've never read
Rob.
The Giving Tree?
No.
You know what? That actually doesn't surprise me now that I think about it.
I'm guessing it's an American book. I mean, I didn't grow up.
No,
here.
it's Shel Silverstein, right?
Yeah.
So it is American. He is American.
He is American.
Yeah.
I've never read that. No, but we have our own books, our own children's books.
Oh, okay. So you have
Like
your version of The Giving Tree?
No, but we never had. When I was growing up in the UK, we never had Dr. Seuss.
Does it have some pompous like translation of giving?
You see, this is why you should leave the jokes to, in this case, me.
Yeah.
But typically the professional.
Yeah.
You're,
What would the, yeah.
You're not. No, just stop, okay?
What's your go-to one-liner joke?
Oh,
Don't put her on the spot like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah?
They don't like
I don't
that.
really I don't really do like,
One-liners?
a lot of one-liners.
Have you-
No.
You're too complex for that.
No, it's
gotta-
just
I don't think I'm too complex.
what the hell's going on here? Just insulting, I guess.
I'm not. That's not insulting.
That's actually a compliment.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm worthy of that compliment. So
You. That's not meant to be insulting.
Well, out of the-
you're too complex to. You spend too much time. What does that mean?
You don't ask someone who does comedy, tell me a joke. You don't.
Why not?
Because it's not the forum. It's not the. That's not. Be funny, clown. That's what you just said, essentially.
dance, monkey, dance.
Exactly.
You don't say that to me every time I turn on the cameras.
You are a clown.
Oh, okay.
I've seen Emily perform. She's very good, but it's not.
I've seen plenty of comedians on
different
shows,
styles of
on
comedians.
podcasts that go, "Hey, what's your go-to joke?" I've actually seen other people have that.
Let's change the subject.
Okay.
I want to talk about. Well, I was going to talk about pickleball
okay.
because I told you I was literally at the rec center, saw you playing pickleball once. Assumed you were a pickleball player, but you
So,
weren't playing pickleball.
I wasn't playing pickleball.
Okay, but you were on a pickleball court.
I was on a pickleball court.
All right, so
It's
what
very
were you
confusing,
playing?
Yeah, so it's this game called Benny Ball.
Okay.
You play with the rubber kickballs that you had in school. So it's one that's like about this big.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like ping pong with your hands.
Okay.
And it's just it's a great workout. It's very fun. I think it's a lot more fun than pickleball personally. I'm probably gonna get like hate mail from all the pickleball.
So is it
players.
handball, but with like a bigger, softer?
Well, with a on a
Well,
court.
on a course, you're going over the net and you get two bounces, either two bounces or two taps on your hand, and then you send it back over. And you really try to just, it's like tennis or pickleball. You try to just be strategic about where you place it, so your, partner can't return it. And
Can you hit
you
the?
you can't go like over the head. That's illegal. Like an
Okay,
overhead spike.
so it all
But
has
if
to
your
be-
elbow is, kind of like in line with here, then you can.
Is this something you made?
Yeah.
Because I can't find it. I just
Wait.
it's-
What was more insulting? Is this a game that you made up, or you're too complex for that?
Neither. I was
Okay,
not
thank you
insulted
very
by either
much.
of those
Thank you.
comments.
But how
No,
do you?
so my partner Benny created the game. He
All right.
made it up.
That's why it's not
Yeah.
appearing on Google yet.
Right. No, it's
Okay.
it's although it'd be cool if one day it sort of became a thing.
anyone-
Benny, copyright that stuff, buddy.
Anyone can
Right.
write their own Wikipedia page. So
Right.
you need a Benny Ball
Right there. See,
Wikipedia
We'll
page.
just create
Now we got to get a manufactured special ball for Benny Ball.
and shoes and
Yeah.
all
This
the
is a
good stuff.
fortune in the waiting.
Oh yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Now you say it, I do recall you not having rackets and the ball being
Yeah.
slightly too big.
And you were like, that's weird.
As
What
I
are they
don't know,
doing?
it's a pickleball court. It's probably pickleball. Right. Benny Ball.
But it's fun, and we're really trying to get more people
Well,
to learn how to play.
But
So if
are there-
anybody's interested,
where can we tell the people where are the rules?
well, we made a video at one point about it, but I don't think it's published anywhere online or anything like that.
Okay.
But if we're usually up there, probably a couple evenings a week, or just message me on. Yeah,
Let's formalize it somehow.
Yeah.
Write it down, and we'll do our best to share
Yeah.
that.
You
'Cause
can-
that's a Montrose Creation. By
If
the
you
way.
if you're interested, 970-316-3162. You can leave a comment. We'll figure out how to get back to
there
you.
you go. Yeah.
Or you can go to wkrpmontrose.com.
It's in our interest to make this popular because it's a Montrose creation.
Yes.
I wanna-
Born in Montrose.
Yeah, I want to play Benny Ball against you.
Oh,
You
great.
want
You guys
you
have
want
a
me to
great
go
time.
to jujitsu and get thrown around.
That's true.
I want to play Benny Ball or pickleball
The problem is
because I'm going to leave welts on you at some point
no.
with
The
the ball.
problem is you don't take this the wrong way.
Yeah,
I'm not guessing you move around the court too quickly.
you don't know anything about me,
So
Rob.
I've got a feeling I would just stand in one spot and just bat it left and right, and you'd be running and out of breath in a few minutes.
Anytime,
That's my.
anytime you're ready. anytime you're ready, my friend.
We'll go with the creators of the game.
Come learn some night. We love to teach
you guys. Again, so Rob has this thing that he wants to start with working knowledge, real people, changing the WKRP moniker from We Know Real People to Working Knowledge, Real People. Okay. And the idea is just to embarrass me in any chance that he can get.
Yes.
He wants to put me in situations that he doesn't think that I'm capable of doing, and hopefully I fail miserably. Not really sure.
Don't put your therapist hat back on. Keep your Benny Ball hat on.
It's hard not to, right? Yeah. So, but lately I told him, I said, look, I'm done with you telling people that I don't want to do it. The deal is he doesn't follow through. So he says and he makes all these threats, and then he doesn't. Like I'm there.
I'm the ideas man.
Yeah,
I'm not the
He's
doer.
The possibility guy.
That's you. You're the bull in the china shop that let's make this happen. But I'm going to do it now because you threatened that you would go to the jiu-jitsu.
I will definitely go.
Gym.
And get beat up.
Just honestly, just the idea of you, like I said
earlier,
you're going to have to put a bed sheet or something around you. Because, you
don't think they'll have a gi big enough to fit me?
Well, it'll tie at the top, maybe. So,
that would be hysterical if they gave me a smaller gi and I had to
the idea is, and it would work with Benny Ball, is to, we in the studio, we take something we learn here and we take it into the quote unquote the real world, into Montrose. So we do come and learn how to play Benny Ball. We do get him thrown around by a 14-year-old girl at jiu-jitsu. We do get him up to his chest in gunk when we go and clean out a sewer with the city maintenance guys.
Okay.
This is all very funny to
apparently, me. Public Works is hiring, so apparently, can I get a part-time job there too?
We'll do it once. When you throw up because of the smell of something, then you'll be done.
Now you want physical harm to me.
No, that'll be enough for me. One day of you doing that, or as we said in the last episode, digging trenches to lay fiber optic cable for clearly the best internet company in town. Clear Networks. We're shameless, by the way. We don't care either.
So, Emily, what is when you're not writing books, when you're not being a therapist, when you're not doing stand-up comedy, when you're not creating a new sport that's better than pickleball called Benny Ball? What is one of your favorite things? What's kept you here in Montrose? What's one of your favorite traditions or routines that you do here in Montrose that you like?
I like being outside. I ride bikes, whether that's a mountain bike or a road bike. And I think what's kept me in Montrose is just it's not crowded, or even just being able to hike, being able to go out to Eagle Valley and be the only one on the trail, or go up cross country skiing up on the plateau and be the only one in the forest. I mean, there's just you don't get that anywhere else, really. I mean, it's just that's what's kept me here. Is just I'm afraid that might be going away.
Yeah, we currently have that sweet spot of we have the things, and the access, but we don't have the people. There are plenty of places in Colorado and other parts of the country that don't have the people,
right?
And it's a dust bowl,
right?
We have the plateau. We have a ludicrous amount of stuff here.
We do.
But we don't have all of the people yet. They're coming, but...
You like to road ride?
I do.
Have you ever done the mountains to desert ride?
I have not.
Do you do any group rides? Road riding?
Occasionally.
Okay.
He's trying to sell you on something.
I am.
What is the mountains to desert ride? Where does that go?
For the people that don't know, mountains to desert used to always go from Telluride to Moab.
Oh, okay.
Or Telluride to Gateway.
Okay, I have done that. Yeah.
Okay, you've done the ride. You've done the race, the ride.
I don't think I raced. I was brand new to cycling, but so I just rode.
You've done the route.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've changed it. Part of it now is going to start from Ridgway. And go. But they've also, for those of you who think that sounds amazing, but also terrifying,
straight climb out of Ridgway,
right?
Up to Dallas Divide.
They've added a division to do e-assist. So if you've got an e-assist, you can be in your own division, so that you can do the race.
So why not add a motorbike division?
See, you're the reason. You're the problem.
Yeah,
you're not the solution. You're the problem.
Can I do it in a car?
Electric scooter.
Yeah, whatever.
It's not motorized.
Powered roller boots.
It's e-assist. It's the idea that you still have to pedal there, pal.
Did they introduce that for you? That category is that?
I mean, go for it. Look at you. Listen, this is how you know it's abuse. This is how you know it's abuse. For those of you who are listening and aren't watching on YouTube, Emily just grimaced when Rob said that.
She's gonna
that was a genuine.
She's gonna send you a message later.
Yeah, that was a genuine human response. Like that was like really. So anyway, their new division, e-assist, really just to help people like don't be afraid of this. You can come do it, type of thing. But that ride is amazing.
It's even further. Is it even further then from Ridgway?
I still think it's 100-miler.
Ridgway
It's right in there.
Are they ending in Gateway?
Yeah, they're ending in Gateway. So, which is amazing for any of you who haven't been to Gateway.
Well, car enthusiasts, right? Is the museum still there?
Yeah, so the car museum is still there. Well, I hope everything is still there.
Canyons Resort.
Yeah, they just had a big fire out near there too, and they closed that area. So I'm hoping nothing happened to that. But the race is going to happen. That's still all on. It's a gorgeous ride.
Well, is Nicole doing it?
Nicole, if anybody's interested, Nicole has a nonprofit called Faultless. They're organizing a riding group. You can sign up with them. They're going to give you a jersey and everything. There's people that have sponsored, part of that. So, and they're going to go as a group together.
Yeah, when is it?
I don't know. That's horrible. Mountains to desert.
Detail.
We'll put the link in the description. We'll give the date. He's looking it up really fast for you. So
September 20th.
Oh.
There you go. September 20th. That's right, because she's got to be. We're going to be gone for my birthday, and she's got to be back before I'm coming back to be here for that ride. So I won't be here to help.
Absolutely staggering scenery, though.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Because it's I forget what the highway is, but it is a Colorado scenic byway, like it's officially designated.
Hey, Rob, by the way, just to come back to you,
go on.
I've done the ride before there was an e-assist division.
Nice.
So there you go. I will say that I almost didn't make it. I bonked towards the very end
it's
for not having enough water and food and everything else. I got this is a funny story. I got a really bad cramp on my right leg, my right leg locked up. But I was on the straightaway to Gateway. Like I could see Gateway from where I was at.
So you were just
No, I had to unclip my my right foot and leave one leg out and pump with my left. So I was literally pumping with one leg with one
Just
right
when
leg
I
up.
thought the vision of you doing that with your spandex on couldn't get any more ridiculous. There's you sticking your right leg out at a 45-degree angle.
And wailing. And because I didn't want to get off the bike. I didn't want to get picked up by the sag wagon because I certainly wasn't in the front. This is the first time that I had done it.
Hilarious.
So, but it was amazing. The scenery alone is worth it.
Let's do it next year.
Why not this year?
Because it's in a month.
Because he's going to be gone.
No, because it's in a month. That's why.
I did it off the couch, by the way, too, because I'm one of those ridiculous people that were like, "Oh, I can do it."
Yeah, that's why why what happened.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely.
Right, next year.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. He's not telling you guys. I have to have a surgery before I can do it. So.
But you got a year.
Okay. Well, I do have a year to do it. Okay.
There we go.
Anyway, well, Emily, thank you for coming and joining us. Did we do a good job of covering at least some of who you are and why you're here in Montrose?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Rob made it uncomfortable that I knew more about you than I should, making it sound like,
I think it's great. You did your homework. You were very thorough.
I want to understand. I want to get to know. That's the whole idea of the show, right? We want to get to know each other.
Yeah.
While you're here.
Yeah. It's great.
Thanks.
And I'm not great at talking about myself. I'm definitely much more comfortable on the other end of things. So for you to already know these things and not make me have to self-promote and do these things.
Yeah, so instead of us saying, "Hey, Emily, tell us why you're a good person," that's difficult, right?
One of the other things I did notice, you like silver and turquoise, right? Do you make make jewelry?
My partner does.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very talented. He'd be somebody great for you guys to have on your show. Yeah.
Love to have him.
Well, and he also does comedy, right?
Yes.
I mean, he emceed that night at Silver Basin, right?
Yes. Yes.
There was an image that I saw that was probably one of the most beautiful pieces of silver and turquoise I'd ever seen. It looked like wings that were like a necklace that had a center turquoise piece. Was that his too?
Feathers.
Like feathers. Thank you.
A turquoise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that his?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Definitely.
brilliant. I mean, just brilliant artist.
Do you want to give him a shout out?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Benny Boom at www.boomjewelrydesigns. And then he's actually, I don't know if this is going to be on the air before next Thursday, but he's going to be down at Mauve outside actually with his tank, with all his equipment, just making jewelry, kind of doing on-site demos and selling some like lower
really
price
cool
point
stuff. Yeah.
and just showing some of his work.
So when you go home, can you ask him a question though? On his website, the jewelry designs, it says as seen in Cowboys and Indians and various other magazines. If we get him on the podcast,
He has to say Wayfinder.
Can we add WKRP to the as seen in?
Sure.
See if we can do that.
Then we're just like massive amounts of jewelry after that. So yeah.
Well, you know,
I mean,
that's
who
probably
knows?
that's probably not going to happen. Really incredible stuff.
Yeah,
We'll put the link to that in too,
brilliant.
and that way he kind of has to come on.
Yeah.
We'll put his link in there. Amazing stuff.
well, that kind of took the thunder out of the end of the interview. I was going to say, normally we ask somebody to challenge somebody else to be on the couch.
Well, you can challenge somebody else.
Yeah. Is there anybody else you can think of? You have to look in the camera too and make it personal.
Who would be good? You don't have to. If that makes you uncomfortable, you don't have to.
No. You definitely got to look in the camera.
I don't know what to do.
Who else do you think you know would be good?
I think Liz, the owner of Curiouser, the bookstore.
Oh yeah.
She'd be great. She's just got a great personality. She's doing so much for the community down there. Really great shop. Every time she's in there, it's just such good energy. You know, people are coming in. They love her. They love the store.
I saw a post recently actually, and she was explaining how many books and how many shelves they have versus like a year or so ago when they started, and it's booming.
Yes.
I mean, I'd be interested to ask her what possessed you to start a bookshop, because we've had several in Montrose and they have gone.
Right.
And it's one of the biggest indictments of a town of this size to me, that for a period we did not have a bookshop. So we do have one now, thankfully. So yeah, Liz, maybe that'll be a good guess.
She'd be great.
When's the last time you read a book, Rob?
I mean, I'm literally reading one right now.
The second?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for making that happen.
Do you have
Emily.
a favorite book?
I appreciate it.
Hey, do you have a favorite book?
I already shared it. The Giving Tree.
Oh, I thought...
That is my favorite book. Where the Sidewalk Ends is another one. My favorite book was a book that I used to read to my daughter. I still think about it all the time. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about getting a tattoo that she's going to come up with that's about it. It was called the Blue Day book. It was a very simple like book that you read to children. And one of my favorite parts in the book is there's a picture. I'm just giving you ammunition. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Come on.
There's a picture of a orangutan, a little baby orangutan, and when you see him, his page says, "But wait, there's more," and that's when it goes from being a blue day to being a good day in the backside of the book.
So you're going to have a little orangutan with.
I have a very cool design that my daughter, who's a tattoo artist, shout out to Kalon Inc., is gonna. She's already designed it for me. It's kind of like a tribal version. If you looked at it directly, you might not realize it's an orangutan until you paid more attention to it. So it's really cool. I'm excited to get it. I'll show it to you guys when I get it, because she's already.
Where you having it done? That's
none of your damn business,
Rob. That'll determine
Rob.
whether or not we can broadcast that.
No, I don't have any plans to get a tattoo where you can't really see it. I want to be able to see it. So.
Good.
Well, anyway, I don't know how that got. We got distracted there. You've got some ink.
I do.
How did you decide what to get?
It was just sort of the bird just kind of has like symbolic meaning for an experience in my life where it was just sort of I kept hearing the song Blackbird, you know, the Crosby, Stills and Nash, the Beatles did it too, and it just really empowered me to kind of make a change. And it has a green little heart in its mouth, just from learning things about love and life. And then this one is actually the Simmeron range on here. I have a good friend in Laramie, Wyoming, who is a super talented tattoo artist, or she's not really doing a whole lot of tattoos anymore, but I just said, here's what I want, and she did it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Emily, thank you again for coming to sit down on the couch. Hopefully we didn't traumatize you. Hopefully you don't need therapy after being on the couch.
She can self-therapize.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to give one more time the URL is findyourfree.net. And
then for my books, my book stuff is all on sweetmoonpress.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
we'll
check out Your Own Front Door and Reflect and Expand.
Yes.
I particularly like the Reflect and Expand because that has more of your poetry in it, right?
Yes, it does.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, we've introduced you to somebody else in your neighborhood that
now you know. Mr. Rogers, calm down.
Now you know. You got to get, what is that song? How does that song go?
Which one?
Something
It's a
in
beautiful
your
day in the
neighborhood.
neighborhood.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
what did you
it's a
think
beautiful day in the neighborhood, but there's also you got the in your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. Somebody comment on the, because I can't think of it right now. Yeah, it's one. It was probably in like Sesame Street or something like that.
Well, you're a bit older than both of us, so it's probably something from the 50s or whatever.
Yeah, way back in the day. Somebody else who's
dinosaurs.
50.
Big Al.
You know. So
Big D.
yeah, it was way before the Teletubbies. Let's put it that way. All right. Thanks, everybody. It's been another episode of WKOP. We'll talk to you soon. Rob, way to finish it on the last shot. Bye.